Welcome to Cheaper Than Dirt Videos. I'm the old man, and in each video I'm going to show you tips that help you be more efficient in landscaping and to make your yard look professionally manicured. Alright, today I'm going to give an 8-year review of the Echo CS-400 chainsaw. This is a really nice unit here. I've been using it for my landscaping business, and I don't use it a whole lot at one time. Basically, I use it when there's storms and I'm cutting up fallen branches, or if I have a new yard and I'm doing a first-time cleanup, I'll use it. So it's not something that I use every day, maybe a couple times a month or so, depending on the weather and if I've got a new property that requires a lot of cleanup. But what I did is I bought a kit here that came with the air filter, the spark plug, and the fuel filter. And that kit cost me $7.50. And I also bought this starter pull assembly here. What happened was after a few years of use, I think this pull cord snapped twice. I think last year the end right here snapped off, so I had to retie it, and then just a few months ago it broke again. So now the cord is really short, so I just went ahead and bought this pull starter kit here, and this was a little bit expensive. It was $58, but I just went ahead and got it. I like the machine. I'm going to keep using it. Let's see here. You can see I bought it back in 2013. Starts up great. Runs really good. I got a new chain here. I think I paid, what was it, $11, so the chains are pretty cheap. You want to make sure that you get this size for this chainsaw. You want to make sure that it's got this S62. You need to make sure that, and then the 3/8 and the .050. So when you buy any type of brand for the chain, make sure it meets these 3 requirements there. And then of course I got the bar adjustment tool, and this end right here, the big end, that'll be for the spark plug. I believe it's 19 millimeters. But a 3/4 inch deep socket will also work, which I have here, but I'll just use this. Just in case you guys lose that, you can always use a 3/4 inch deep socket or a 19 millimeter. And I also got this scabbard here. It's a generic size, so I'll have to cut it down. And you can see here that they've got it marked. This is an 18-inch bar, so that's where I'll be cutting it. And I think I paid $9.50 for this. So it's a lot better than what this came with. When I originally bought this, it came with a real flimsy plastic scabbard like this. You can see it's coming apart. Alright, you can see there's a lot of gunk and stuff in here. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape this stuff out, clean it up since I've already got it open here. So let me get that done real quick and then we'll continue on. Okay, I got this clean. Looks a lot better. Basically I just used a screwdriver to scrape out as much as I could and used a paper towel and just cleaned it up real quick. So now let's put the bar and the chain back on. So the new chain is a lot tighter than the old chain, so I had to adjust this little pin right here a little bit. And of course, since it's a new chain, it's, when I use it, within just maybe 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to want to retighten it because the chain will loosen up. You don't want to run this with a loose chain, it will come off the bar. And then when you tighten the chain down, you want to make sure that you just have a little bit of, where you can pull a little bit of slack down here. You don't want it too tight because then it'll strain the engine. Alright, there we go. So there's that part. Now let's go ahead and put the new air filter in. Alright, now we can change the spark plug. Alright, so now let's change the spark plug here. Got to wiggle this quite a bit to get it off. There we go. And you can use this end here for your spark plug. Okay, we'll just insert the new one. Alright, and then we'll just tighten it down. Alright, you can use an Allen key, or if you have a tool like this that has the Allen head on the front. Alright, so on the old one here, it's got this little spacer. You need to take this out and just put it in on your new unit. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's give that a try and see how it feels. Alright, works great. Alright, so now we've got the scabbard here that we're going to cut the fit. You can see here it's got the markings for the size of bar you have. This particular one is 18 inch, so we're going to go ahead and cut it there. Alright, I almost forgot the purge pump here. So I actually should have done that when I was doing the spark plug, because I got to take this whole casing off right here, this piece. So when I did the air filter and the spark plug, I should have went ahead and took this off and replaced this bulb here. So let's do that right now. Alright, the best way to get this bulb out is to loosen up this bracket right here. Take the fuel lines off, and there's two little electrical connections here. If you take those off, you get a little bit more wiggle room here. You're going to use your flathead screwdriver here, and you're going to push down on the tab here. Whoops, there we go. Pops right out, literally. Alright, so we will push the new one back in. Now we'll put these fuel lines back on. Alright, I had to get some small needle nose pliers because my fingers are too big to get a hold of these fuel lines. So you just slide those back on. Put this bracket back in the little groove here. Alright, now I'll use the needle nose pliers to get these electrical connections back on. And they just slide right back on in place. Alright, let me get a close look. Okay, so there's a you got your main fuel line, and then there's a small return line, and that's the one that was giving me problems because I couldn't get my fingers in there. But it's right there, and you can see it goes, there's a little spot that it, see, here's the old one. See how there's two areas there for the fuel lines to fix. The smaller one is the return, and the longer one there is the main fuel line. So you put those on, and these are the two electrical, let's see, there we go. Those are the two electrical connections that need to go back on. Alright, I'll put the cover back on. Actually, I need to clean the cover real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, got the covers cleaned on these. Let's just go ahead and put them back on. Alright, got the air filter in, spark plug in. Let's tighten down this cover here. Oh, gotta get the right screwdriver. Okay, now that we got the spark plug changed, air filter, got a new pull cord on here, and we changed the purge pump for the fuel. Let's go ahead and start this up and see how she runs. Alright, not bad after 8 years. So that's how you install the tune-up kit. Really easy. Probably the most difficult part, if there is a difficult part, was just changing this out, just because you had to take this whole cover off and take the fuel lines off. But other than that, a pretty simple job. Perfect for yard maintenance, landscaping jobs. Like I said, I've been using this for 8 years. It's just, I need something light and small, just enough to trim branches and clean up storm debris and stuff like that in yards. And it's just been a great little workhorse. I don't use it every day. I use it just a handful of times each month, if that. And it's just for really quick jobs. Now, because this is an 18-inch chain, it does dull pretty quick because you don't have as many teeth as a larger chain, but that's not a big deal. The chains are only 11.50 or $11.25 a piece, I can't remember. So somewhere around $11 a chain, and of course you can sharpen those. You can get little kits to sharpen it. So there you go. That's the Echo CS-400 chainsaw. Alright, so here's the old parts here that we used. Now I changed the bar because after 8 years, you can see on the end here it was getting a little chewed up. Just sometimes when I'm trimming storm branches that have fallen down in the wintertime, it's pretty icy out and stuff, and these limbs are, when they come down, they got a lot of pressure, so when you're cutting them up, they'll pinch. And so over the years, this gets a little rough from the branches pinching on the chain, and so it's a good time to replace it. You can see it's pretty well worn. Alright, so here's the parts list. That would be for your bar, and this would be for your chain. And for the pull cord, they call it the starter assembly. That's the number you need right there. And then, of course, these are all the old parts here. This is a tool I made myself just to pull the fuel line out of the gas tank to put the new fuel filter on. Then you'll need a hex screwdriver or Allen key, and then I use these needle nose pliers to put the fuel lines back on because my fingers are too big to fit in there. And then you'll need a Phillips for the cover, and of course your chainsaw tool there. Okay, so you need to get a wire where you can grab the fuel line and see, and then you can pull the fuel filter out and change it. But I created this little tool here, just a wire so you can grab that line, pull the fuel filter up. Now the only complaint I have with this chainsaw is it does seem to leak bar oil as it's sitting and being stored. It was worth the money. I can't remember how much I paid for it because it was 8 years ago, but well worth it. Small, lightweight, does the job. I've never had overheating issues with it. I've used it in the summertime. It was about 100 degrees, helping somebody cut up firewood, and we've been doing it. We did it for 3 days of cutting and never had any issues with it. So I highly recommend this chainsaw for homeowners as well as light duty commercial work. So there is the 8-year review of the Echo CS-400 chainsaw. Thank you for watching Cheaper Than Dirt videos. Please like and subscribe. It helps our channel to be noticed. Thank you.